and welcome to GFA On the Ball. I am Nisha Peters, and joining us today is Ms. Bernadine Andrew. Ms. Andrew is the president of the Central Conference. She was recently re-elected to that position. That election took place on Saturday, 12th of September 2020. Congratulations, Ms. Bernadine, and thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Nisha. I'm happy to be here to be a part of your program. I'm understanding that it's a very new program.
Yes, it is.
So I'm pretty sure I'm the first president of a conference that you will be interviewing.
Very much so.
So I'm kind of excited, looking forward to what you have to ask and what we have to produce at the end of the day.
Okay, so before we dive into this interview, just give us an insight, well, the viewers, I should say, a more insight as to who is Ms. Bernadine Andrew.
Bernadine Andrew, mother of two, president of the Central Conference of the Grenada Football Association, past executive member of the Football Association, past member of CFU Women's Committee, an accountant by profession, a lecturer at TAMCC in the accounting program, and just a football enthusiast and a youth lover, I should say. Someone who loves youth, who loves youth development, and hence the reason why I'm probably involved in football.
Wow, that is a lot. It seems like you have football in your blood, and we are happy to have you on board and very proud to have you as part of the football family. Your conference that's just recently elected, what is the membership like?
Okay, presently we have 7 active members in the conference. We actually have 9 members, but foot golf is inactive right now. And, well, I shouldn't say 9. We have 8 members, with foot golf being inactive. And I'm understanding that we should be getting an application from Caribou sometimes very soon. But what you have to understand, Nisha, is that with the conference, the numbers are not static.
Okay.
The numbers move. Because with the Premier League, if there is any team that has to be demoted, they get demoted into a conference. So it's possible that in 1 year your conference may have 8 persons, 8 members, but in the next year you have 9 members, or you may have 10 members. So the numbers doesn't remain the same. It can change from year to year. And of course you can have persons, new clubs, join in your conference as well.
Okay, your executive members, you mind sharing who they are with us?
We have the executive of the conference is 5 members. So we have myself, yours truly, yes, as the president. We have Dylan David as the vice president. And the ordinary members are Seymour Redhead, Lyndon Bob, and Roger Brown. So these are the 5 members of the newly elected executive of the Central Conference.
Okay, that's wonderful. Congratulations to your team.
Thank you.
Why football?
I don't know if football found me or if I found football, But I've been involved in football a long time. In fact, maybe close to 25 years.
Wow.
My involvement in football started with an organization in Happy Hill that Kelly Patrick was in charge of. And they used to organize a very successful local tournament in Boucherjou.
Okay.
That tournament was once sponsored by Bernadine Andrew, and last it was sponsored by Grenada Breweries. So my involvement with football started then, helping him to organize that tournament.
Okay.
I had a 2-year break when I went to study, but when I returned to Grenada, what I realized is that in my village, there was a group of guys playing what you call bush football. So they would go to Montridge and they would win.
Okay.
They go to the Limes. And I remember one night in particular, they came back and they scored like about 20 goals in that one game.
Wow.
And they're in all local tournaments,
Okay.
but no formal organization. So I got involved with them. I had 2 brothers playing, and well, most of the guys were my friends anyway from the village. So I asked if they wanted to become involved in GFA. Because prior to that, Granoy had a very good GFA team, but I was when I was a child.
Okay.
So they said yes. And it went from there. So we got them organized. We joined GFA in 2004. But that same year, I think it was Ivan. Ivan was 2004. And so the tournament did not complete. And we had a parish league thereafter. So that's really how I started, and here I am today, still here, because I love the game. For me, in football, it's all about football. It's all about youth. It's all about young people. On Saturday mornings, I get very excited when I see the park in golf full of young men, because they had an option. They didn't have to be there.
That is
And
true.
and that's what drives me in the football.
Oh, that's wonderful. This is your second term as president of the Central Conference. How has it been for you thus far as president?
Um, Nisha, to answer that question truthfully and to give the viewers the truth about my presidency in the conference would honestly be putting dirty linen out there. And this is not my intention. What I can tell
Understood.
you is that as the president, it has been very, very, very challenging. This is my second stint, as you're saying. In the first stint, this was the very first time that GFA was organized on a conference level, because we had a change in the GFA statutes in 2016, and there was no longer first division, second division, but we still have Premier League. And the structure of football changed, and we had 4 conferences. So one of the conferences was the Central Conference, and I became the president. So I'm the president of an organization that is new.
Okay.
There is no guideline, there is no guidance, there is no policy documents as to what you should do, when you should do it. And from the onset, we had problems because, as you know, in the football, we have who does not like who.
That is
I mean, and that is the truth.
Yeah, that is true.
And I guess part of it too had to do with being a woman, being in charge of a set of clubs that's practically male dominated. And but so the first 4 years was really not what I would have liked it to be.
Okay.
We had some accomplishments. For example, we were the only conference to have a football tournament that was fully sponsored with no assistance from the Grenada Football Association. But we did it. We did it quite successfully. We had a prize giving ceremony, so everybody got trophies, medals. We even had a monetary prize for the MVP.
Okay.
We registered our tournament, so our tournament is an independently registered organization. So we've done stuff, but not as much as I would have liked to happen. But what I can tell you, you see, in this rounds, we would be run more efficiently than the Grenada Football Association, and I'm not afraid to say it. Yes, viewers, we would be run more efficiently than the Grenada Football Association.
Yeah, that was just one of my next questions. What is on the agenda right now for your executive?
Right. So tonight at 7 o'clock, we'll be having an executive meeting. One of the items on the agenda is the way forward for the next 4 years. And I am very, very excited about the next 4 years for my conference, because I know we would be having, one of the first things we'll start off with is a strategic plan.
Okay.
So and I must say thanks to GFA for involved with me in a strategic planning session they had with CONCACAF last week. And I will be piggybacking a lot from that going into my conference.
Yes.
Because we will be having our strategic plan. Our strategic plan will be modeled after the Grenada Football Association strategic plan. We may not use all of your pillars. So for example, national teams is not a pillar that we can use, but we can certainly use governance.
Okay.
We can certainly use club development. So we would be modeling. And the reason we will be doing that is, even if we are a separate legal entity, we are still involved in football.
That is true.
And we are a part of a whole, which is the Football Association. So our goals, our objectives cannot deviate. They have to be in sync.
After, yes.
So we would be following that strategic plan of the Grenada Football Association in terms of pillars as much as we can. So that's one thing I know will be coming on very soon. Of course, we will be looking at tournaments. I had a pledge of about $10,000 for a tournament for this year, but because of COVID, we were unable to run it. So we will be running a tournament and tournaments over the next 4 years. One of the things we will definitely be looking at is youth and youth development, because in order for us to reach anywhere, we have to start with the kids, we have to start with the youths. So we will have a pillar that deals with youth development, and one of the executive members will have to take on the responsibility of youth and youth development. So that's another thing that we will be looking at. And well, of course, we do not have any finances, so we would have to look at raising funds. We will have to look at whatever assistance we can get from the GFA. But for certain, the next 4 years will be filled with activities, and we will be the envy of all the conferences.
I wish you all the best on that. You did touch on a point that I wanted to bring across, which is the GFA CONCACAF Bootcamp. There we, as an organization, we gain a lot from the people who presented the bootcamp to us. From your standpoint, how do you see that improving football, the association itself on a whole, and football on a whole in Grenada?
What your strategic plan does is to bring things in perspective for you.
Mhm.
It helps you to understand why you've been set up. It helps you to zero in on your core activities, why you are here.
Mhm.
It also helps you to understand where you would want to be. And like the gentleman said, there is what is called in management a performance gap. So you are here now, you want to be there in the next 10 years or in the next 5 years, in the case of GFA in the next 4 years, but you need to do certain things to close that gap. And what a strategic plan does for you is to highlight those areas. It highlights where you are and where you want to be. And that came out quite clearly in that strategic planning session that we had. One of the things that's done, one of the tools that was used in that session was a SWOT analysis, where we looked at the strengths. It was called enablers, but it's still the strengths. We looked at the weaknesses. We looked at the threats and the opportunities for the association. So that analysis, quite a lot came out. And these are the things that would be used now to develop strategies to help close that performance gap. So all in all, the exercise was very timely. It was very well and professionally done. My one thing from it though is that I was hoping that more persons would have been involved, especially the executive members. So because at the end of the day, they are the ones that are supposed to be driving the strategy of the association, and we need buy-in from them. So you can have buy-in from me as a president of a conference, but without buy-in from your executive, which are chosen based on parishes. So they are supposed to run or drive what happens in their parish. So with all that kind of buy-in from them, you may encounter some problems. But the exercise was well done. It was professionally conducted. What we got out of it was quite fitting for us as an association. Our challenges were highlighted. I mean, it was quite a remarkable exercise.
That's wonderful. I myself must say it really was a wonderful experience for me, and I'm sure for the persons there as well, it was a great one for them as well. As a woman, 25 years in football, what are the plans for women football within your conference?
Um, Women's football within my conference. We, at present, based on our constitution, sorry, it says that you must have a woman on your executive, and I am there.
Yes.
So the good thing is that I'm very much involved in GFA as well, and like I said to you, we would be driven by what drives GFA. So right now, I'm involved on the COVID-19 Women's Committee, where we're planning for women's football for the next maybe 2 or 3 years. And whatever is done there will be filtered down into my conference. So one of the things that we will be looking for is each of the clubs having a women's team. If each club cannot have a team, if we can at least have 2 or 3 teams from the conference, it would have to be a combination of. So we would not be able to say this team is Swantenoise or this team is Combined Northerners. But what we can say is, moving into a GFA's competition, we have 3 teams coming from our conference. So women's development is one of the things that we will be looking forward to doing. We will be looking forward to having the teams, and not just a lot of the times it's young people as involved in women's football. We can't really say that we have adults in the true sense of the word adults involved. So we would have to do other things besides competitions when it comes to women, because we have to look at the overall development of that young person.
Sure.
So we would have to look at tournaments, yes, but we would have to look at personal development. We know a lot of the times they go overseas to do to play football. We have to teach them etiquette, table manners,
Sure.
Hygiene,
Sure.
and all these things, So whatever whatever we do within our conference with regards to women's football will be a mirror of what the GFA is doing. And being a part of that committee on the GFA's level, I can tell you things will happen because we will drive it. If I was not there, then I might have been skeptical, but I will help drive as much as possible. I'm not a decision maker at that level, but we can help drive. I can get frustrated and I can make a phone call and say things need to happen, and you know what, that I will do it.
Yes,
Right.
that's very true.
Yes.
Ms. Andrew, do you see yourself serving in football 5 to 10 years from now?
I mean, the answer to that is obvious. Yeah, I mean, as long as I have the breath of life in me, I will be serving football. And I cannot say at what level, but I will be serving football. Definitely. Football is a part of me.
Yes.
Football is an extension of me. So I have to be, yes. So most definitely, Nisha, I will be in football.
And that's wonderful to know. What encouragement would you give to young women out there to get involved in the sport?
You need to get involved. Look at me. I've never kicked a ball in my life.
You and I
But
both.
getting involved in football does not mean kicking ball on the field alone.
True.
There's a lot more to football development than actual playing, you know. So I'm asking you out there as young women, as ladies, if you think that you have some sort of skill, whether it's administrative, and you can assist with forming a football group of getting young ladies together, you know, I will advise you and encourage you to go ahead and let's get it done. We have right now going on in GFA, we have SAT classes going on for young ladies. That is something that we can do. I'm a lecturer at MCC. I can help teach. I can help, you know, do stuff educational wise. And if you have that talent or that skill, then why can't you give back? You know, I'm pretty sure at some point in time you've gotten something. So, you know, it's time for you to give back in some way or the other. So I don't want you to look at GFA as a whole and say there's always a lot of bacchanal and confusion going on inside it. No, no, no. We have the Central Conference and we have other conferences. We have the Northwestern Conference if you live on that side of the island. So that's St. John's, St. Mark, St. Patrick. We have the Eastern Conference if you're on the eastern side of the island. And we have the Southern Conference. So if you're a woman and you think you can give back in any way, whether it's to chaperone some kids if they have to go to a tournament in fall, you know, you can get involved and assist in some way or the other. You don't have to come from a football background. I did not come from a football background. But here I am walking along and helping. So I mean, the advice out there is get involved. We need to see more women in football. We need to see a women's committee from GFA that's dominated by women and not by men. We need to get to the point where we have our head coach of all our levels being a woman and not a man being in charge of. I'm not saying something is wrong with it, but we need to move to that point. What is interesting, Nisha, too, is that lately I'm realizing that out there in some of the bigger countries, you have women now getting the same level of even in terms of remuneration as men. So the playing field is being leveled outside there. So we need to up our game here. We really need to up our game and get more involved. So I'm calling it, it's a clarion call to ladies out there, get involved.
That's wonderful, and thank you so much for that. How can our communications department help in transformational role in your conference and the GFA as a whole?
Nisha, I would have preferred you did not ask me that question, and you know I'm known for my honesty, right?
Yes. That's one of the things I must say I like most about you.
I do not think much happens in terms of communication coming from GFA. And personally, I don't think it has anything to do with you. I think it has to do with maybe even factors and forces outside of the GFA Secretariat. And again, I really would have preferred you not ask me that because I'm kind of, to answer you properly, I have to delve into the politics that I really do not want to delve into this morning. But as much as possible, I will provide you with information, let you know what's happening. And if you can assist us with disseminating information, we'll be very happy. For example, Nisha, let me put you on a spot. You are here with your program On the Ball, telling your viewers that on the 12th of September, Bernadine Andrew was re-elected as the president of the Central Conference. As an association, as the Grenada Football Association, has the communication department sent anything out there? Have you put any press release? Did you send a note on Facebook? What have you done saying congratulations?
I must say we did not do anything about it, and I take full responsibility for
And that is exactly what I'm talking about, viewers. Sorry, we just had to wash a little bit of dirty linen here, but that is just how it is. I mean, Miss Peters called me since the same Saturday, congratulated me. So maybe there is some factor of force that has prevented her from going out there and doing what she has to do. But we will work with you from the conference end. You know, I work with everybody and anybody that comes to me, and that's how I operate. When I leave here, Nisha, I don't go to your house, I go to mine. Correct. So if we have to work for football, then we will work regardless. So whatever we do, we will involve you guys as much as possible, not only the communications department, but we may need other expertise from the GFA. We do not have it all. We do not know it all. So at some point in time, we may need to pull in the president of the GFA on something in the conference, you know. So whatever assistance we can get, we will gladly accept. And especially financial assistance. Yes, I will be coming to the association because we have plans, and with plans goes budgets. So we have no monies, we have no allocation. We have no allocation from GFA's budget, but we will be coming, and maybe we need to push you into that direction, that you, as this conference is a bit more than you're not doing anything now, so that you maybe just give us some assistance. I can't say more because you're not doing anything now. So, but we will work with you. I see no reason why we should not. We'll work with you.
And I know you would. Knowing you, you're a woman of your word. Once you have information, I know you're going to share it, and you're going to expect for it to be shared. Otherwise, beyond just between the communications department and the conference department.
Certainly.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Bernadine. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. It's a lot of information, a lot. And we look forward to having you here again when your conference kick off and things are happening. We look forward to having you here again.
Well, Nisha, thank you. Thank you for having me on your program, and I look forward to the viewing of it. I hope it's not censored, it's not edited. Whenever you need me, just call, and you know, I will not work with your time, but you will work with mine. Sorry, that's just the way it is. I'm very happy to be here to share with you on football. I've been around a long time, like I said. I saw you come into council, and I saw you fight, but you couldn't take it. But I'm resilient. I'm there. I will fight with the guys anytime I have to. I'm there, you know, involved on a political level in the office, but I'm there, and I will be here.
I know you will be.
And I'm very, very happy to be here.
That is something I must share with all viewers. Because of Miss Andrew, I became more into football. She's one who literally dragged me into the council. That was my 2-3 years in the council for Paradise, and it was a pleasure, and I thank you very much for that opportunity. Trust me, I've learned a lot from her. When she says she's a teacher, a lecturer, she is a lecturer. She knows how to lecture, so our students are in good hands. Thank you again. Thank you, viewers. That's another episode of On the Ball. Thank you for tuning in. Remember to like, share, and comment under this video. For more Spice Football, you can visit our website at www.gfafa.com. You can also follow us on Instagram, that's at Grenada FA, Twitter at Grenada FA, and go ahead and like our Facebook page. Thank you very much, and looking forward to seeing you again.